All right. Someone let me know if you can hear me all right. And then I'll switch over to the charts. Just want to make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. All right. Already checked the news. A little bit of news coming out. And we got some speakers coming out today. Also news at 2 or FOMC meetings. And Aussie news at 7:30. So I will be trading the Australian dollar at 7:30. I might stream that as well. So it might pop up later. All right. Let's see. You should be able to do that. All right. So I just got in a few trades as I'm trying to wake up here. I did not go to bed till, what was it? 3:30? 4:30? It was 4:30. So I'm like wiped. So I'm trading with lighter contracts today just because of that. I'm still doing it on that demo account for you guys. I'll go over that later. Why? There's a reason why streamers. I guess I can cover it now. People stream and they do demo trades. It has to do with licensing to give investment advice. So unfortunately, people have ruined it for other people. And I learned this a long time ago. This is something I learned way back when in like 2005 and 6. Is that taking trades in front of someone on the screen, if they take that same trade and they lose live actual money, they can come back on you. It's a thing, trust me. So, if you don't hold your license, your series license, to give investment advice, then you got to be careful. So you got to kind of walk a thin line. So that's why a lot of times, especially when we streamed before, you would see the streaming chart, and I would drag my chart in later after I placed the trade. That's 100% the reason. So, but a lot of people won't even do that. It's okay to show your trades once you're in them, after you're in, or after, especially after they're done. But that is the big reason why you can get in trouble. So, I don't know. You know, a lot of people say they're trading live, and they are probably in the background, or should be. So there's a big reason to be cautious. So that's why. Yep. Yeah, if you're going to, and that's why I don't send out, I never sent out signals before on my own. There's a difference in having an indicator send signals versus me actually getting ready to trade and send out a signal saying I'm buying right here. Yeah, you got to be really careful. I looked into getting licensed back in 2010 and just I didn't do it. But that's 100% what it is, and that's why you'll see everybody at trading, and you're like, are they trading live? Are they, they shouldn't be, not in front of you. Even the guys, so I've watched the guys at Top Step TV, and I don't think I've ever seen them actually place a trade in front of anybody. They talk about trades, and someone will show the screen, and then someone else will say, yes, I'm in it. I didn't watch a lot of them, so I could be wrong on there. And I know a couple of them had talked about getting their series license. So, yeah, you don't want to get in trouble. I'll delete this. So I'm in a few things. Bitcoin down here, I almost put a pending order on Bitcoin. Let me switch that over to the... So right here I had, we had a buy here and it dipped back and I didn't buy. Normally you want to buy on the pullback, definitely, instead of the break. Okay, well, I did not. I almost put a pending order there because I knew, okay, my odds are in my favor that it's going to break to the high side. Okay, because we had buy signals. But I didn't want to just buy there because I knew it may not go up past this. If you look at gold, that's exactly what it did. I did buy in here. Okay, and what did it do? It went to that high, and that's it so far. So, and I've got my stop tight below the current low instead of back here below all this. So, but it's a $250 risk on it, right? So that's the most I want to take on a loss. So if you'll notice, that's what I've got these two at. Now this one's a little different. I went on oil, I just went below the low, and it's only 145. So it's a little less risk on that. So by sticking with that 250 risk on this gold trade, that puts my stop up there in the middle of everything. So I might get taken out only to see it move forward, move up. With Bitcoin, again, I thought about putting a pending order above my high line here, my high to break line. I did not. Walked over to the other side of the room to get the remote for the TV, and when I came back, it had popped. Okay, so it had popped here, and then this candle even, you'll see the wick, it was green. I'm like, okay, missed my entry. I'll have to wait for a pullback. So when it pulled back here, these two red candles, I did jump in on that pullback. So that's why I'm in on that one. Just kind of want to explain where I got in. I didn't get on the break like I wanted. I got in on that. So now again, I might get taken out on gold, only because I didn't want to have my stop way down here where it was, and that's only a $500 risk. So I forget where it was here. It was at like 250. I'll get it if I can get it right on there. So it just wasn't ready, and now we're getting a 1 hour reverse. So if we get the 1 hour reverse, it's going to take me out if this goes. So we got 2 minutes 45 seconds on this. So if it pushes down and holds, if it can hold for this 3 minute candle, then that 1 hour reverse will be in play, and then we'll get a push down. So I'm in the opposite direction. I'll be taken out. So there we go. So we're taken out. So it's probably going to push on down to at least this low down here. I'm not going to mess with it right now. If it breaks the low down here, then I'll decide. Because if not, if it just pushes down and then pulls back, we might actually get another buy. So it depends on what happens here. The 15 minute, 1 hour are both red as it's pushing down. We might get a change in direction on a bunch of these. And I'm in them on the wrong way, possibly. But yeah, so that's why I was on this account yesterday and today. And when we did the stream, I streamed it on a different account so I could trade on my other screen, computer screen. But yeah, so Signals trades live in front of people on like a live stream. you know, someone takes the trades and they lose actual money, they can go back on the streamer. I mean, it happens. I don't know if they'll win out or not, but yeah, we're looking at some negative trades right now. We're in the negative, so we've got the one loss. I need to keep my running tally here. Still trying to find some music to play in here that won't shut down the stream. So I'm trading solely off signals today, so we'll see how it plays out. If we did not have this sell signal on, because that ended up turning into a sell on gold. So if you look, it was a 1 hour reversal when it started out, but it's changed to a sell because we've had that further push. So we're kind of wishy-washy on the signals right now on that 4 hour. So that's why I said I'm sitting out. And we know not to take it anyways. I mean, we knew not to take it, or I knew not to take it because of this low down here. I'm going to have to wait for that low to be broken. So took a chance on the buy. And that was a good entry, you know. Pulled back here, gave a buy. It was a good entry. The buy went to the first target. Your first target is always the previous high. Obviously, if the first target, your previous high, is further out, then you have more room to close and take partial. I don't remember what it was up because I wanted to wait till it broke, and it just never did. So instead, we took the loss. So we wait. You know, Bitcoin. I'm hoping it just pulled a little deeper, and that's all it's going to do. We'll see if it pushes. Sometimes they don't, and we know that. We know that sometimes they don't stop right on this pull down. We have the candle stop right on that line, but then this candle went through. Not like up here where we had gold actually turned right at that line. I got to see what the wife wants here. Oh, on this trade over here on S&P, this white arrow is where I was thinking about getting in earlier. It had pushed down, and I just didn't pull the trigger. So we had, you know, a sell. It's been short. We had a sell as you look at the indicator now on the bottom. So we had a sell. It pulled back, gave a red candle. I thought about getting in there, but didn't. I was still getting ready and had to go get my coffee. And so I decided just to mark it. So it panned out. Obviously the target was this low. It kind of hesitated there, pulled back, closed above the couple candles. Yeah, you got to be careful, again, when you're trading in front of somebody, showing anybody anything about trading. The one kid I know that I've mentioned before, he last year was talking to someone when I went in about trading, and they left, and I said, "What are you doing?" Because he was talking about how to trade. He goes, "Well, they want to learn to trade, so I'm going to help them." I was like, "You don't even know how to trade." He'd been trading like a year, I think, or 6 months, and losing all his accounts. I'm like, you need to get a grasp on your own trading first before you ever do that. And then earlier this year, or last year, that was early last year, or year before actually, and then mid last year, I think it was in summer. Then at some point he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm helping someone trade." I'm like, I said, "You're just teaching them how to use charting, right? And you're just teaching them how to put on the trade and close the trade or move the stop." He goes, "No, I'm teaching them how to trade." I'm like, I said, "I went over this with you before. You need to learn to trade first." So he's the same one that is banned from Apex now. Got that dreadful letter that says you're no longer allowed to trade with us. So, it's one of those things. And then the other day I saw him. I didn't, I never want to throw salt on a open wound, but okay, I'm going to go ahead. I kind of want to wait for this candle to close. We'll see if we close red here. I really need a red candle before I pull the trigger on gold. So we had a sell signal. We had a pullback. If I'm going to sell, then my target is going to be the lows in here. And it's probably going to be this one right here, the inside of this. That's a small target. It finally looks like we're getting something on S&P. So anyways, it's one of those things. It's like, he kept saying, "Well, I'm teaching someone, I'm showing somebody." And I was just like, I hope you're just showing them how to take a trade, not. And he was trying to teach. So I like here that we're hopefully getting a buy on oil as it pulled back on us. So sat through the negative a little bit. We'll see what happens. Still in the negative. So I went in light today. Plus I stayed up late, so I really kind of off my game right now. I want to pull the trigger, but we got one more minute. It's going to push down without me, it looks like. I wanted to see a red candle up in here. If it pushes down, I don't know if I want to sell or not. We'll see. About wicked out in Bitcoin. And I do have to leave. I'm not sure what time. I'm waiting on Mrs. Duck to let me know. There, we're out of Bitcoin. I don't remember what that was. $122. Oh, actually, it was two. I had a pen that wrote. Ugh. Let's see here. We're waiting on candles. I'm going to go ahead and put a small one on gold. And the stop is going to be right here. We're going to get a tight stop. Since I'm going to pull profit, down in here. If it pushes there, we'll see. So we got finally getting a push on oil. Bitcoin has looks like we're getting the 1 hour reversal pop coming. So that would be the 15 to 1 hour going short against the 4 hour. So a little extra risk there. We're still not getting that push on S&P. I thought we might get it after it came back up here. After it pulled back up here to test this low, I thought we might get that push down. We got a little bit, but so what I'm looking for on oil is I'd like to see it go 1 to 1 at least before I close out partial. Since we had an extension or push, I'm going to move my stop up some. So we've had that extension, and so it's definitely making a newer high. So we expect it to push, pull back at any given moment. So right now it's a very small trade, and then it might pull back and dip back, and we might go negative again for a little bit if it pulls down in here. So, but I went ahead and moved the stop up some to minimize my risk. Yeah, see, S&P wasn't ready to stay down. I went pretty tight on this gold stop. Looking back on it, I wasn't right. I told you guys I'm extremely tired today, so you'll have to excuse me. But looking back, look at where I put my stop on gold. It is right at that low. So it should have been more up here, not down where I had it, because that is, kind of ass can be taken out. So it should have been like more up there. I don't think I want to do anything with Bitcoin unless we see, for one, I want to see red candles, but two, I think I want to see it pull back below this low. If I was to think about even think about shorting it. There's Kramer on TV. So I'm hoping this isn't a sideways day all morning. Because a sideways day, we're going to get signals, we're going to take trades, and then we're going to take losses. So if it's nothing but sideways. So that's why I'm looking at pulling partial at a 1 to 1. No news this morning. No real news to move the market. So with no real news to move the market, because remember, news creates, with the news comes out, it creates that volume. Volume will step in from hedge funds and corporations and banks and countries, and So when there's news releases, volume steps in, and with volume we get we'll get momentum, which is what we need to profit. Otherwise, we'll have a sideways day and riskier trades. So that was part of the also reason why I stepped everything down to minis or micros. Because if you remember, I had standards up on these three, and Bitcoin I had micros. So I've stepped these other ones back to micro for that reason, because I didn't want to put on even 1, which is 10 micros. I wanted to minimize the risk. I forgot to move my stop back down on where I had it on gold. Oh well. So one thing we'll watch for is, like with gold here, if I take this loss, because it is about, it's right there. We're going to watch and see what happens the rest of the day, the rest of the morning. Does it, turn, in here after taking me out? Does it turn up in here only to keep going, only to go back short and push for another low? So right now we have a definite low. I marked the inside of this. So we have our definite low here where it turned. And then we have our definite high here. So I don't know if we're going to be able to trade that as a range. It's going to depend on what it does after it takes me out and pulls up here. Because right now we're getting mixed signals on it. Good morning, Jay. I lost the paper where I marked down what we made yesterday. I don't even remember offhand. I'd have to go back and look at the charts. Does anybody remember what we made in here yesterday? I gotta go back and look. What I like to decide is, as we're sitting here, how much we want to lose back from yesterday. Because right now we're still positive on the week. I don't want that. Get somewhere here. Looks like oil is trying to give us a bounce off the high. So I like that. Hopefully it'll push for us. break on Bitcoin. Alright, so we're getting a push on S&P. We're still not back in the positive yet. Alright, I do have to... Okay. I think we're good to stream all morning. So we were at 28.91. Oh, and then what we were up the other, so it was 3,500. I don't know. See, I told you I'm like out of it right now. Not awake. Not fully awake. I'm sitting here adding it up, and I got it in the post out there. Yep. All right, so guys, just sitting in oil. And S&P right now. So oil's gone up again. I really want it to go 1-to-1, and we had 145 is where our original stop was. So the original stop we had down here at 145. I just moved it up a little once it broke this high. So I've already got the order set on 3 here. So when it gets to that, 145 level, I'm going to close out 3 at 1-to-1. With gold and Bitcoin mixed signals, where we got oil is all green down there, and S&P is all red. So I'm going to hold those, and then with gold and oil mixed on the lower signals, I'm going to stay out right now till we get a confirmation on the 4-hour. So right now, gold's kind of wanting to go long, and I think I'd wait for a break on gold. I want some confirmation that gold's ready to go this time. So I would draw this line up. And then I want to see if it bounces on that line. So if you're gonna take it, you can take it. Right now I'm waiting on this candle to close. So we got like 44 seconds before the candle closes. So if you're gonna take it right now, we got the 1-hour and 4-hour showing green. The 15-minute may stay green. It depends on this candle. If you do take that long, what do we see that's in the way? This high, right? Can you guys see my pointer? Is it not showing? There it is. Sorry. I guess I have to click on the chart when I click off. So again, that would be the caution there. I'm itching to take Bitcoin. because I think it's going to pop and run. Let's go in light on Bitcoin. And I mean, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust down from 5 just to 3. And we'll go ahead and do a sell. We're selling off the 1 hour. Stop loss aggressive is right here. You know, about that 70. You can put it a little further out if you want. So aggressive, to keep it way out of the way, is up here at 148. We'll keep it kind of aggressive. I'm just not sure on the day right now. So there's that. See how we got a buy on gold, but it's just not ready to go. I need it to break that high or this low down here before I get back in gold. Until then, if you want, you can trade it back and forth in a range. It's a lot of risk, so you do less contracts. And you typically, if you want to leave a runner on, you can. So when I say less, I'm talking like, 2 or 3, and you would buy at the bottom, sell at the top, buy at the bottom, sell at the top, because that's what we have right here. So I don't know if that's going to hold. So right now it's pushing down. You would buy at the bottom if you're going to scalp it. That's scalping right there. It's just that back and forth, because that's pretty much what you have to do on a range bound day. We still didn't get to 100 even on the oil. So we're in the positive a little bit on these. Oil's been the best so far as its moves. So as far as the moves on oil, it's been good. We had a buyback here. It made a high, pulled back, tested the high, pulled back a little deeper. Notice it wicked down, and then toward this area, and then our stop was down here. And then we finally had that push where it broke the high. Once it broke the high, it pulled down, tested the high, and we've had another push, another extension past the high. So right now we have a new high that needs to break, which is this one. So right now I like the way oil's sitting. S&P, got in way over here, sat through a pullback, and we have that push to the low. So we need it to break this low, obviously, in order for us to be in the positive more. We just need some follow through. So I chose to put my stop tight on Bitcoin, and it's more than likely going to take me out. I did it again, guys. If you look to the left, I put it in the wrong spot. That tight stop is right there at those high levels. I don't know why, because I got my line right there. I just need to wake up. I'm trying to down this coffee as quick as I can. And we're out of it. And I gotta watch. I gotta watch this. Let's see what happens here since I did the no. Move it off to the side. I don't really have any trend lines drawn or trade lines. So one I would draw on S&P now, since it had the pullback. Because before this, we had a pullback here on S&P. Had a nice pullback, sell signal. That's where wanted to get in, but I had to get my coffee and everything else. So I'm like, nah, I can't watch it, so I'll wait. And then we've had this pullback and then another sell signal. So right now we have this high and this high back here from the two sell signals. So that's what I want to do, is I want to mark, you know, from back here. Turn the magnet back on. You know, from back in here, this high to this one, and that would be my down trade line right now. Because we have those, you know, we had a high and then sell signal and then a pullback and sell signal. So I want to mark both those. The same on oil. We can get one down here. So we've had two buy signals. We had a low dip here, buy signal, pullback, buy signal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a trend line or trade line from here to here, and that's going to be the trade line up. And then we can draw a more aggressive one. However, it's pretty much because of this sideways move, I think it's already broken it. So just visually it looks like it has. So if I drew one from this low to this low right here, you could see it's already broken that because of the sideways movement. So there's no need for me to actually draw that on oil and leave it. But I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, that would be my inner trade line, my more aggressive one. So the longer term trade line is down here, the outer trade line. And then we have the inner more aggressive trend line here, which is broke. So we don't need that on the chart because of the sideways movement. So again, I could see it visually. However, I just wanted to show you guys that at one point, because if it would have pushed up and kept pushing up, we didn't get this sideways movement, then we would have had that as a valid line. So right now we don't. So we got 5 minutes before the U.S. stock market opens. So we're going to see what happens on S&P. We should get a move as volume steps in. The U.S. stock market's opening in 5 minutes. So who is that? I don't know who that is. Sounds like Kramer. I got the TV on. I need to turn it. I need a different mounting bracket. I have them here, but and I don't even know if that is going to work for that big of a TV. All right. Getting a push on gold, breaking the low. Again, we're going to see we're seeing volume step in. I don't normally hold volume, and volume indicator on my chart. You can see volume up here on the current candle. You can always go back and look at previous candles, like what the volume was on this candle, and you're going to see it. 932, this candle, you know, 15, 1.54 over here, you know, and you can see what we currently have, 1.83 on the current candle volume. So I don't usually trade with a volume indicator on my chart other than this up here. It's time for me. I know that at 9:30 the U.S. stock market opens, so what do you think is going to happen? Every day, 9:30. There's volume's going to step in. The volume of traders, the volume of trades, which is what we need for, again, our momentum, our push. So we had gold. I think I'm going to take another run at gold. Hasn't been good to me so far. I have to decide on where I want. So obviously I want my stop above, you know, this low. These lows right here is where I want my stop. And then safely, it would be way up here. So it would be like up there. So we're taking a lot more risk on it if we put it up there. You know, a little tighter would be like in here above these lows. Just know that if it, you know, wicks past those, we could be taken out. So trying to decide on where I want to leave it. I'm still watching oil down there because it is at 95, so we're not quite at the 1-to-1 yet. I'm hoping that break just wasn't a, you know, the break we had here on gold, I hope that just wasn't to take me in. Might have been their plan. Man, S&P just wasn't really to move yet. We still got like 2 minutes. So we should see S&P kind of whip back and forth. It's typical. I like to try and get in it, obviously, before U.S. stock market opens, but it just hasn't moved for as much. Hindsight, my arrow there's where I thought about taking it. But again, I had to go get my coffee and stuff, so I wanted to be able to watch it. So since we had another push in oil, I do want to move my stop up on it. I'm going to move my stop up here to lower my open risk here. We don't want to see that on gold. I'm hoping it's just testing these lows here. We also have a decent level right here. And it could go clear back to this one. So we have this line here, and that's off of these highs where it pulled up, kind of went flat for a little bit, and then it dipped back here to test that. So that's what that line's off of. So our stop's above there. So a little more risk on this trade. Let me know if that's too noisy in the background. I don't think on the TV. So oil is up at 105. I was gonna close partial, I told you guys, but I'm gonna leave it on. That's not enough to lock in. We can move the stop up a little more because we're getting that push on oil. We would come in and mark this tail right here. That might not hold up because that's just a brief moment. It was up there, not like a full swing. Not like these down here where we had nice big pullbacks. Yeah, Bitcoin's moving. So watching for Bitcoin, what do we got? We got 26 seconds left. We'll see if it breaks this high over here. Be prepared if you get in Bitcoin for it to possibly pull back. And if it does pull back, don't expect it to turn at this wick, this tail. I would expect it more to pull back and turn either right at this high here or in the middle, somewhere between the two lines. So if you draw a line here off the candle, I would expect it to pull back a little deeper, like possibly right in here between the two lines. Trying to decide if I want to minimize my risk a little bit on S&P by moving my stop down above this high. I really would like to see it push first. We had a decent pullback, push down. It's just not breaking this low. I really want to see it break that low, and then I'd like to move my stop down above this high. So Bitcoin gave us a buy signal. Trying to decide if I want to do it again. Let's go ahead and do the buy. Stop placement. You know, way down here is safe. If that's going to hold up. It's only a $200 risk, which is really nothing on the trade. So, you know, keeping the stop out of the way, hoping the buy's staying. So, you know, right now we had a buy in here, buy in here. You know, after this buy, it went up some. And then if you didn't close partial, you sit in the negative. Probably stopped out here, you know, if you were in any of these buys. And then it kind of double bottomed there. And then we've had that push. This kind of came, if you drew like a trend line from here to here, like a downward line here. You know, once that was broke, we did have a buy. I was stopped out here on the short. So I took a chance on the 1 hour reverse. And that did not pan out. So we took a little loss there. 76.50. I think that was that one. Oh, 78. Sorry. Yeah, on the short on Bitcoin. All right, S&P's pulled back up to the down trade line. Let's see what happens here. We're not getting any breaks other than Bitcoin. Need to check in on the platinum trade. The platinum trade's up to 4K right now. Oh, I did. If you guys didn't see it, I did post out in the Discord that platinum trade. So we're sitting here day trading. Yeah, it looks like. So right now, I mean, I've taken a few losses and no wins right now. So I haven't decided yet how much I want to lose back from yesterday. Yesterday we locked in 3,500. So for me, it's going to be, you know, we're 3,500 good on the week. How much are you shooting for a week? You know, I mean, you could have, if you were only shooting for 3,400 or 3,500, you could have, or 2,000. We could have stopped yesterday and been done for the week. I always look to see how much I want to lose back in trading. So for me, it's more of a week to week. It's more of what did I lock in last week? How much extra did I lock in? So if I'm looking for, you know, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. You're looking for 200 a day, that's 1,000 a week. So last week, did you lock in, you know, 1,500 or 2,000? That's play money, the way I look at it, the bonus. That's for getting into a little riskier trades, more than your day trading. That's whatever you set up. There's that pullback on Bitcoin, that we were expecting. And we'll see how deep this thing goes. Hopefully it doesn't completely turn around, keep going short past our stop, but we'll see. Right now we would still hold our buys. I just happened to get in on the break. I waited till that buy signal. So yeah, it might just be a back and forth day to day. So we had that last year. What was it, for like almost 3 weeks in gold? There was a couple weeks in there. It was like nasty every day. So yeah, on the platinum, I think you guys probably all saw that. So that platinum trade I've been in since Friday, and I've been holding, and put on 5 contracts, closed out 3, right? So we closed partial. So I put on 5 contracts on Friday morning. I think it was about 9:30 I took the trade. If I remember right. 9:30, 9:36, something like that. That the trade was taken. And I can't slide my chart over here since I'm streaming a different way than what I usually do. So, but that platinum trade on Friday morning, I think it was like 9:35 or 6 or something. I don't know. So in short, and with 5 contracts, and then when it pushed, closed 3, so closed partial, and I think it was 1,800 or 1,400. I'd have to look back, one of the two, that the partial caught, and then I left the 2 go. So that was Friday, and I'm still in the trade today, and it's Wednesday. 2 more days, it'll be a week that I've held the trade. So that's where, and I love that. We can't always do that, but that's where your runners can, you're day trading or scalping. So I'm day trading, and then now those have turned into swing trade. It's turned into a swing trade because I still have it on. It's been multiple days. So, and right now it was up about, what did I say, 4K? Yeah, it's at 4,060 is where it's at. So I've sat through some decent pullbacks, but I've also switched over my charting. So on a 3-minute, we're on a 3-minute here day trading, and put that on Friday, and then we went through Sunday, and then Monday, and I'm able to flip the chart over to a 15-minute chart for following the trend on it. Along with that, I changed the signals. So right now, the signals on the indicator below, we have a 15-minute, a 1-hour, and 4-hour time frame. Okay, that's above our 3, 5, and 10 that we'd be the 3 and 5 especially that we're taking entries on. The 5th, you want the next 3 large time frames. So we're taking on a 3 and 5. We're not going to put the signals on a 10. We got it on 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour. So I've switched platinum out to a 15-minute time frame to watch it. So I switched the indicators down here, because if I'm watching it on a 15-minute chart, I don't need this set on a 15. So I'd switch these to a 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. Okay. If I get to the point where I can switch out to an hourly chart on platinum and watch it on the hourly chart, well, then these will switch. Okay. These will switch to a 4 hour, a daily, and a weekly on the 3 indicators. And that's what I'll switch them to. So, that's how you want to do that, because I don't want to watch it on a platinum on a 3-minute time frame or 5-minute time frame anymore, because I've held the trade. It's been several days. You eventually move out to the larger time frame to see if you can hold, because I'm watching that higher time frame now for my analysis of the highs and lows on it, and that will change the signals then, how the signals show. So I did post the image of it out there in Discord. Yeah. And if you look at the image out there, since I switched the other, of course, the daily's all red, the 4 hours back and forth and the 1 hours back and forth. But what happens is it changes the buy and sell signals, and it shows nothing but sell, sell, sell. There's no buys. There's 1 hour reversals, and I just held through those, and one of them pulled back pretty decent, but the other one didn't. All right, so we're out of Bitcoin. It did pull all the way back on us. So we're getting that back and forth. So I don't know if I want to take any more trades on these. Hopefully you guys aren't taking too much of a beating out there. Yeah, I did too on gold. So it's been nothing but back and forth on it. And again, I have my stop. I got it here above this high is where I chose to put it, because we had the sell signal. I chose to put it above that high. Ideally way up here. I didn't want to take the extra. I mean, that's 710 on the risk. So, and I took it when it broke here. So we had a sell signal, big push down. This red candle here, it broke that low. So I thought, okay, I might be safe getting in here. And so far, no. Yeah, I might be done for the day too on them. So you have to decide on how much you're losing back. So even though I'm doing this on this account, I'm still treating it like it's a real account. That's 100% what you should do. So I'm still making those same decisions. I'm not sitting here going, okay. You know, it's a paper account. It's a demo account. So, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I lose. I'm taking the risk. That should not be your thought process at all when you're paper trading or demo trading. You should treat it like a real account. So that's like back in, 2006, someone would ask me, and even now someone asks me, well, how much do I need to trade? My answer is $10,000. That's what I've always said, $10,000. I started with 20. My answer will always be $10,000. Can you start with less? Yes. You 100% can, start with $1,000 or $500 or even $200, and you're just trading smaller contract size or lot size. But that was always my answer. And then someone would say, well, how do I know when I'm ready to go live? Because my first answer, I want to trade. I have $2,000 to trade with. What I would tell them is keep your money, keep your $2,000, open up a $2,000 paper account, and trade that. When you can double it safely, that would be my answer on a $2,000 account. When you could double it, trading safely, and I could sit with them, because that was back in the day where everybody that was working with me anyways had to keep a trade sheets, that trade worksheet that's out there. They had to physically have one, and that was because we were meeting local. So I made them have a 3-ring binder, and they did the trading worksheet on every trade. And then when we'd meet for breakfast to trade, and we did that once a week, I should be able to take your binder, look at it, look at the trades, and know exactly when you got in, why you got in, why you moved your stop, when you moved your stop. because they also would have two screenshots, a screenshot when they entered and a screenshot when everything was closed. That was physically on paper. And I mentioned that before. One guy showed up one day without his binder. I'm like, you're not trading today. But it was one of those things. It's like, if you're going to trade with 10,000, how much are you going to trade before you're ready to go live? How much are you going to trade with live money? Okay, then open that same demo account size. If you're going to open up a $2,000 account, you don't open up a $20,000 account demo. You open up a demo account the same amount of money you're going to trade with live. And then if it's low, like 1,000 or two, I'd like to see you double it before you get live. If it's something like a $10,000 or $20,000 account, it's different. If it's a $10,000 account, let's see if you can make 20% return on it, but know exactly why you took the trades when. None of this just jumping in, jumping out. All right, so on S&P, we've got that another push. We got a sell signal that's trying to come up. We've got what, 51 seconds on the candle. And it is, we'll see if it pushes. I mean, right now it's pushed to that previous low. And we've got kind of a double bottom here on the wicks. So, of course, this is a 3-minute candle, so they don't hold up long term, or as well as the higher time frame on signals. Yeah, we might get taken out on gold. I might be done with gold until it breaks out. Or actually, I am done with gold until it breaks out. So oil, we did hit the $100 mark. Remember, I was originally looking for it to go 145 because I had my stop at 145. I wanted to see the 1-to-1 to close out 3. We didn't quite get that. I decided to move my stop instead and leave all 5 on. So right now we're still in it with our stop kind of tight. So that limited our risk on it. So we would have a very, very, $30 loss on it overall. Again, moving the stop because we had that push. I just don't think I want to take a chance on Bitcoin right now because of the moves we just had. This big bullish push and the big, huge bearish push right after. Watch that be the signal that to take. Now I don't know if any of you guys have experimented with trading after, 30 minutes after the U.S. stock market opens, an hour after the stock market opens. Some people wait for the initial, knee-jerk reactions to kind of get out of the way. Remember, I talked about gold down there, buying on the bottom, selling on the top. What the bottom would have been here, because we were looking at it pulling back. So I was looking at these two lows and possibly buying in there. So it did pull back up. However, it went deeper. So it is riskier if you're going to scalp and do that back and forth as it's sideways. Sell at the top, buy at the bottom. Because again, if I was looking at this to be my low for my zone back and forth, then I would have bought in here. As soon as it just dipped down to there, and you can use a limit order, but that would have been stopped out. So, less contracts, and then you would look to sell at the top. So my stop's kind of in the way of that. Yeah, there was. I didn't get up. I wasn't up yet. Since I stayed up till 4:30. I don't know where the dog's at. I better go find the dog. Make sure she put her outside. I'll be right back. What? Oh, what are you doing? Hi. You okay? You sleeping on my t-shirts? Yeah? Need me to go potty? Let's go potty, okay? Alright, you go outside and go potty. I'll let you back in. Go potty. Get a drink of water. Okay? Go eat your breakfast. Eat some food. Go eat food. Go outside and go potty. Go potty. I'll let you back in. Go potty. Alright, guys, I'm back. Found the dog, let her outside. Alright, so we're getting that push on Bitcoin. Like I said, watch that be the signal that turns it around. We'll see. So nothing exciting today. Not like yesterday. And I kind of broke my rule on some of these trades because I'm not using the, like gold. Not put my stop up above this high back here, but I chose the tighter one instead of two back. Oh, I kind of want to do it again on Bitcoin. I'm expecting it to pull back. So what I think I'll do on Bitcoin is wait. It may not pull back. It may just start running. But what I want to do is I'm going to wait and see if Bitcoin pulls back. So I'm going to wait since it is tapping that low and kind of breaking. I don't know if it'll pull back into like this area right here or go a little deeper here. I'd like to see it pull back and then, get in on a pullback, get in on a test of resistance. I don't know. And sometimes you're waiting and you don't get it. So we'll wait and see. And if it pulls back, I'll get in. I'll short it. And then, like I said, sometimes it goes without you. I used to experiment and do like pending orders on a break. So something like this, I would come in and maybe put a pending order down here with just less contracts. And I just don't do that so much anymore. I need to take this line off. A couple of these aren't valid anymore. And why I stopped here on this pullback is just because we have some lows right here. So if it pulls back in that order. So what I could do is come in and put a pending order there to short. I need to kind of draw. Ugh. Seeing if that's that's the break we need for it to. All right, we'll see MC. Yeah, see Bitcoin's breaking without us, it looks like. So not gonna chase it. We'll wait for it to pull back to I'm going to take this line out in oil. I put the one up here on the wick. This one was a hide break over here, and since it's been back and forth on that line, it's really no longer valid. We'll take it off. So our sideways movement now is between those two lines. That's our consolidation right now. And again, it could pull all the way back down to this, trade line, the outer one here, which means I'd be back in the negative for a while. Hasn't even hit the 1-to-1 level yet. See, I don't like that gold's starting to give us a buy. If this candle closes and that is a buy signal, then I'll close the trade. We'll see ya. Yeah, and I don't know how long we'll run the stream today because I've got to go get the kids and take them to some more appointments. And we got a few seconds for the candle to close. So I'm going to close this gold trade. I'm not going to let it run up and hit my stop because we have a buy signal. So I think I've lost enough on gold. And we had a sell come up on Bitcoin. Was waiting on that pullback, just didn't get it. Not yet, anyway. Still waiting on a pullback. So again, gold's more trading than a range. Something you can do if you do have the indicator on. If it's sideways and you're going to trade the range, you can just shut off the entire indicator. You can hide it. If you click on the hide key over here, you can hide the indicator, but this will hide all the indicators on all charts. I don't think we have a button just to hide the arrows. But again, if you're looking at trading a range side to side, you don't want the indicator on. So if you do want to shut off the buy sell arrows, you can go into it, go into style, and you can click off of these boxes here. I think it would be nice to have one button to hide them. If you click these off, that shuts off the buy and sell arrows. So you can leave the bottom indicator on, the bottom of it, and then if it breaks and runs, then of course you're using that for your trend. But they kind of get in the way if you're range trading. You know, if it goes to the top and you're selling, if it goes to the bottom and you're buying, they will get in the way. All right, oil's still sideways. Still need it to break the high. Obviously, it's kind of, holding under here. So I like the way, S&P and oil has moved so far. They've had the best, setups. There really hasn't been much follow through. So we just don't have that great of a day today. So I'll cut it short today. Because there's really at no point to sit and just that's what we don't want. Looks like I need to make some adjustments on the stream. So we want to go ahead and sell again on Bitcoin. I had a notice come up about the stream. So we're taking one more trade on it. We'll put a tight stop. Just not real willing to risk a lot. So we're taking a chance on this one. We had a sell signal. Didn't take it. Once we had, it pushed past the previous low. So it pushed past the low, had a sell signal, was waiting on it to pull back. We got a green candle pull back, and then this one started red, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger during the candle. We've got 100 risk on it. So hopefully that's our entry that runs. We'll see. S&P finally broke. So hopefully that'll start running. Hopefully things will start running. Oil's still back at the bottom of that thing. This will be the last entry, though, on Bitcoin. We're down like 202 on it. Is what we're down. So I'd like to see that made back up at least. And I did leave it at 3 on the entry instead of going back to 5. Really, the main reason is because I wasn't sure if it was going to keep pulling back further. Because this green candle pulled right back to that low, and then this one started red. So I went in and left it at 3. I wasn't sure it was actually done and going to pull back, further. And it still could. So, but that was the reason for leaving it at 3. We're just getting no pushes today. Not going to mess with gold. Done with that for the day. Sorry, guys. I wish it was more exciting, but we're just not getting any pushes. I am going to move stops on, or my stop on S&P. I haven't moved it yet. So 250 risk on it originally. We're just now getting to 110. So I'm going to move it down. Putting it here is putting it above that high. Yeah, I know. I don't know, guys. I've seen a lot of, and I know you guys have seen a lot of people out there, and they get a lot of hype, and they're trading. Some of them are trading on like tick charts, 10-second chart or tick chart, and that gets exciting because you're watching the ticks move, and some of you don't even. Some people don't even notice it because they don't show you the whole chart. So you can't see. You think they're on like a 1-minute chart or a 3-minute chart or 5-minute chart, whatever, 1 minute at least, or 3-minute, and trading. And you think they just kind of sped up the chart, and they're really on like a tick chart. So it looks exciting because it's fast-paced on a tick chart. I don't know if you guys have ever used them, but I know on Top Step X, you can do the tick charts for free there. This platform, TradingView, you cannot. It depends on your subscription plan. But they don't show you the whole chart. So you don't know they're on a tick chart. Not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that's how it happens really quick. It's exciting. And I think it's great. It's great to build up hype. But yeah, I like it slow. I mean, trading should be slow and peaceful. But it doesn't get a lot of people sucked into watching you. It just, you know what I mean? Let's sit and watch the candles together. But trading should be kind of boring and slow. We get enough, excitement when we do have the big news, like, we got FOMC and you got non-farm and, PPI, CPI. You get the big news releases. We get enough excitement during those. So you should, I welcome the days when it's slower. Not back and forth like this, though. Don't get me wrong. I don't like these at all. Yeah, see how we're getting mixed signals on gold. So I mean, I'm leaving them on there, but I would completely, if I was looking to trade gold, it's trading the box. It's trading it back and forth. And you never know exactly how far it's going to go. Like this one here, like I said, as it dropped, we would look to buy when it came down to, either like this low or this one back here. And it even wicked past this one here. So depending on how tight you had your stop, if you had a tight stop, you'd be taken out. And then you'd have to wait for the green candle entry. That's if you're trading the range. So it's in a range with a slightly downward momentum just because we're making lower lows. And then you have this high, which is pretty much identical. So just nothing I want to trade the rest of the day. You look at oil, that's been more respecting the top and bottom. So we'll watch and see what oil does here. Is oil going to break, or is oil going to pull back and test the bottom? Is this what oil will do the rest of the day? Something like this. And then it could break out in any one of those moves. So is that what oil is going to do? If it is, every time it dips back, you can buy. I would hold a buy position. So I'm already in it long. If it dips back, you can buy in, any one of these dips. So that's how I would kind of trade it. Just keep in mind that if it dips back right here and I was to buy, let's just say I put 2 more contracts on. When it goes up here, I would close the 2 out. It dips back, I'd buy 2 more. Goes up here, I'd close those 2 out. I'm realizing that little bit of profit, because if that's what it's going to do all day, that's how I have to trade it. Knowing that at any given time, it could break what? Not just break out the high. At any given time, it could break out the low and go back to test that trend line down here. It could go like that. It could go deeper, before a bounce. So that's the added risk. If I put 2 on right now, and I was saying that because I was thinking about doing it. It's down at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and buy 2. It's going to move my order. I'm going to leave my stop where it is. But now I just added more risk, right? Because I just put 2 on. So if it does pull back to the trend line, I'm going to be, I just put on more risk. I'll be in the negative a little more. So what I can do, though, is this is a small window in here. Okay. We can kind of zoom over. And if you want, you can drop to a 1-minute chart. I'm trying to make it exciting, right? Now we'll see. And down on a 1 minute chart, that's what you're looking at. So what I would do is come in up here at the inside of these right here. So say the inside top right there. And I want to come in and put a sell limit order of 2. And that's what I want. That's how I would trade that, like the rest of the day. If that's all it's going to do, that's how I want to trade it. So my main trade is the 5 contracts that I put on, over here. So the main trade's 5 contracts we have on for here. That's the main trade we've been waiting on all morning. It went up to like 105 and it just stalled out. Now we're between, like $40 back up to 140 to 140 to 100. That's what it's doing to us. So while I'm waiting on that, then I can choose to, when it pulls back, I'll buy 2, close out the 2. It pulls back here, I'll buy 2 more. So I can use limit orders now on this, trading this in here. This will be extra. If I can get money off these, then I want to take it while I'm waiting to see if it breaks through the top, or comes back and stops me out. So we could have been doing this in here a little bit over in here, like this one. You want to wait till you got to wait till you have a high and low. But on the pullbacks, we would buy every time. Is what we'd wait on. So again, this might have been the wrong one this one worked out, a pullback and a buy. You wouldn't have done this one until this. So you wouldn't have done this one because it, came down and pretty much made the low. You might have bought in here. You'd had to been on the 1 minute to notice it. We noticed on the 3 it was going back and forth. So, we're almost an hour into the U.S. stock market. So that would be a way to take advantage of these consolidated moves. And notice I did it lighter. I'm going in with 2. We're not doing 5 on each of these. We just do 2. We're not getting much. So again, if it goes up and hits that limit order, it'll close out a small profit. And then and then what I do, so as it goes up, if it goes up and triggers that sell limit and closes off the 2, well, then you can come down here and actually put a buy limit in. So that when it comes down, it'll buy back in the 2. That's about all we can do to make it exciting. S&P, we drew the trend line off of this, and then it did pull back, and it did finally break in here. It broke this low. I should have moved my trend line out to there. Well, actually here. Because anytime you get a push, you get your pullback. Once you get a push breaking a low, that's when you want to adjust your line. I sometimes forget as I draw. So it would have been there. So again, our trend line was coming down off this high here, from up there to this one, and it went down through here. Well, once we had that push, that extension past the previous low, then we know we're forming a lower low. As soon as it goes past, and as soon as it moves past a low, it's forming a lower low. Just like as soon as we move past a high, we're forming a higher high. So as it pushed down here past this low, then you want to move your line here to that high. And that's what we're bouncing off of now. So nothing exciting on that. We lowered the risk by moving our stop down. We've already taken a beating on gold, so there's that deeper pullback on oil. And Bitcoin pull back and hit the tight stop. So we're going to be done with that one too. It's like trying to make lemonade out of a, what is it?
Might be in store for a few of those. Jose, maybe we'll have you on again and talk about some important test cases that are pending, at least for now. But appreciate it very much. Close out, Thomas. Thank you.
Well, as we head to break, let's watch Etsy shares under pressure after a miss on revenue and gross merchandise sales. Stock been an underperformer over the last year, down about 30%. Plus, a look at one sector still licking its wounds from that deep-seek sell-off. The details are next. Don't go away.
Davelines.com to get started.
CIDP is no longer around.
That's true.
But I take the third hydrilla.
The same. It's the first major innovation in CIDP treatment in over 30 years.
Fifth hydrilla is improving.
Yeah, Jay, runners are great. And days like today, we're not going to get runners. I'm hoping you're seeing platinum break to the low side because I'm not even watching it. Yeah. I do still have the chart pulled up over here. Yeah, it's up like 43.30. Trade from Friday. So I'd love to see that continue at least the rest of the week. And that's on two runners on it. So, you know, I look back at that platinum trade where I put on 5 Friday, you know, and that was my day trade. Put on 5, closed out 3. So I closed out partial, and I have to look back. It was either 1,500 or 1,800. So I locked in that on the day on platinum last Friday. You know, again, or 1,400. It's either 1,400 or 1,800, one of the two. So I locked in partial, and then I've got, you know, the two runners just going. And now I'm out on a bigger time frame, you know, watching it on the 15 and just not even looking. So I didn't even look last night. I looked yesterday. So I didn't even look last night on platinum. I got my stop set to where I want it and just letting it go. So, you know, it's one of those that it's turned into a swing trade. I don't know if that'll turn into a position trade. That's more where it's going to go for months. And I've only had a couple of those happen last year, and it was on Bitcoin and gold. Now on Forex, I have that happen a lot. Well, more often, let's put it that way. But yeah, if I wouldn't have left those runners on on Friday, if I would have just put on the 5 on platinum and closed all 5, I'd been out on all this move. I mean, I could have got back in, but it's one of those things. It's like, why keep jumping in if I can leave the runners on like we have on platinum now? 2 runners, they've been on since Friday. It's almost been a week. And they're up, what did I say, 4,300? Right around there. Yeah, 4,330 is what it's up right now. So I'm up more on my 2 runners than what I closed on my 3 at the partial. That was, again, like 14 or 1,800. There it is. It was 1830. Platinum. Yep, short 3. That's where I closed the 3. So it was 1830. So I locked in 1830. I'm almost double. Well, I am over double that on my runners because the runners are up 4,300. So, yeah, that's nice. To be up more on your runners, twice as much than what I was on my partial. But you need the paycheck. So closing that partial gets you that daily for your paycheck. And then that's bonus. So the runners are bonus. So right now for the month, last week, I look at it overall as a whole month. They stack up. So Friday on platinum, I locked in, more than my daily goal. I locked in 1,800, 1,830 or whatever on platinum alone, plus whatever else I did. So that was my daily bread. That's what I need to get so many phone calls to live on. And then the bonus is the what I have on now. So the bonus is up 4K. So right now on, the month, just on platinum, my runner is, 4K, my runners. So I count that as my bonus. If I wouldn't have left the runners on, I wouldn't get that bonus. Yeah, see how oil just broke through the bottom and just kept pushing, so I'm out of that. So we're done with that. Limit order's not in play. And then we have a pushback. I don't know why I wasn't taken out of this one. This should have closed off on that pullback. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. So I'm done for the day on the trading. I don't know why it just said it failed to close on that. Probably because I'm on a demo on here. Would be my guess. So right now we've lost back enough. I'm not going to lose any more back. So I don't want to take a chance, and it's 10:30. So I'll go ahead and stop the stream. And we'll see you guys tomorrow because I do have some running around to do. So hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Make sure to check the news calendar as always and see what's coming out. We did not have news today, so that played into our sideways movement. So you have to decide if you're going to trade these days or not. Sometimes I don't. You guys know sometimes I haven't even... yeah, I thought about that, Mark. And I might do that. I can do that, but I can't... you cannot... you're not supposed to, let's put it that way, take live trades in front of people without a license. So, again, with the news today, we didn't have any. So it's one of those things, do you want to trade or not? So, there's been several days I just haven't even traded because of that. If there's no news, you guys catch me not even coming in here. So tomorrow we have unemployment claims at 8:30. So tomorrow should be a better trade day in the morning. So we'll see. But tomorrow should be a little better. But yeah, so but yeah, Mark, I might do that. It's kind of hard though in here. So like I could trade the Australian dollar tonight and record it instead of going live, and then share that out there 100%. So yeah, tomorrow we have news, unemployment claims. So we should see more of a move. And then Friday for red folder, we have PMI. Now that doesn't come out till 9:45 on Friday. So Thursday's news is at 8:30. So I expect that, that initial push, that move. So we should get some momentum off that. And then again, Friday with PMI, we should get movement off that. However, that comes out 15 minutes after the U.S. stock market opens. So we're going to have two things happening tomorrow at 9:45. U.S. stock market opening, and then 15 minutes later, PNI. So we'll get moves tomorrow and Friday. But yeah, I might do that tonight because I will trade the Australian news tonight. So I don't expect huge moves. I think I covered that a little bit, maybe yesterday or the day before, where the Sydney session, so the Australian dollar and Kiwi, that's the least amount. Those two instruments moved the least amount that session during the Sydney session. So you've got the London session, which is typically larger momentum and moves than the U.S. session, the entire U.S. session, and then Tokyo session, and then the Sydney session. So that being said, I don't look for really huge moves on the Australian dollar and Kiwi as much as we get on like Tokyo session, London, and U.S. So just smaller moves. So, all right. So I'm out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I might record that tonight instead of doing it live. All right. So sorry we didn't have any pushes today. So we had a losing day today overall, or I did at least. I think some of you guys probably did as well. So we'll try again tomorrow. Again, with news tomorrow, news Friday, we should have 2 good days. All right. So safe trading, and I'll see you later.